Have you lost your spark or have you just outgrown your life? That's what I want to talk about this week. Hey, I'm Eloise Ansell. I'm an intuitive healer based in the UK. And this week I want to talk about losing our spark. So sometimes we just lose that edge, we lose that excitement, we lose that spark. And it might be about your life, your job, but it could just be one area, or it could be everything, and you just feel like you're in this kind of downward spiral, feeling a little bit, you just can't put your finger on it, but something's not feeling right. Something is just not feeling right. But losing your spark isn't that, you're depressed or you're burnt out or that there's something wrong. It can just be that you've kind of outgrown the life that you've created. Life kind of creeps up on us. I don't know if you've noticed how time whizzes by so fast. And suddenly you wake up and you're like in your 40s and 50s and 60s, whatever, and you're suddenly like, how did I get here? When did that happen? So sometimes we made choices back in our 20s, maybe our 30s, and we're still living based on those choices now. And maybe we've changed, and those choices aren't reflecting who we want to be now. What you wanted in your 20s may not be what you want in your 60s. But back in our 20s, maybe we committed to a career and now we're just a bit bored of it, or we've lost that spark in our job. We've fallen into a routine. I see this so much. And, there's no judgment. We all get there, but we just fall into this routine of just, going through the motions, going to work, looking after the kids, doing whatever's going on. And, it may just be feeling a bit dull and boring because you set up that routine 10, 20 years ago. It may have adapted a little bit, but it's still the same energy, and you've moved on. Even the people we spend time with, sometimes we spend time with people out of habit, and actually, if we were honest, do we want to spend time with them? Uh, I was talking with someone recently, and they were saying how, you know, um, sometimes they say yes to things, and internally they're like, oh, I really don't want to do that. But because they've said they're going to do it, they want to do it. And like, this is what we do all the time. And so we can be in situations and have friends in our lives and have habits like we all meet up once a month for something, and it might just not be hitting the spot anymore with what you need. Like, I honestly now, if I was going for a coffee with someone and I'd had enough or I wasn't enjoying it, or I'd say, great to catch up with you, I've got to go, and I'd just leave. Like, not to be rude, which we're all trying to people please and keep everyone happy, but we have to think about ourselves and what we want in the moment. And that's the problem. We've lost that moment kind of glimpse, and we're just going through the motions, not just with our work, but with the people that we hang out with and spend time with. And what we've been doing, maybe having the same friend group for 20 years, maybe you need some new people, maybe you need some new input, maybe your life's moved on and you don't have the same interests or values as those people anymore. And yet you're still seeing them all the time because it's the right thing to do. And of course, we've moved on as well. Like, your interests could have shifted, or your interests have shifted, but you're still doing the old ones. It's like, we just get into these habits and we don't actually sit down and think about what we really want, what would be fun. We're just stuck doing the same routine, seeing the same people, doing the same job, blah, 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 blah. And that's why we've lost our spark. Not because anything's particularly wrong, but most of what we're doing is out of habit, based on decisions from 20 years ago. And it's not us anymore. So we could have created what on paper looks like quite a good life. And some people might be very envious of our lives. But is it really hitting the spot? If you're feeling flat on the inside, it's probably not. But we can feel really guilty about it. It's like, well, I should be really grateful for the life I've created. I should be really grateful for my family. I should be really grateful for the work. I should be grateful for my friends. And gratitude and changing it can coexist. We're not trying to say, oh, life is wrong. We're not trying to say things are bad. But I want you to start thinking about what you really want and maybe choosing something different. So, looking at your life, what do you love to do already? What makes you feel alive that you're doing now? Keep doing that or do more of it, but spend some time reflecting. And you might just want to go through this and journal for a couple of weeks and look at what parts of your life are based on old decisions, don't really match the energy anymore. Maybe you want to spend less time doing things or spending time with people and be honest about that. So, what we want to do is notice what isn't fitting anymore, like what feels like an old version of you, and start asking what would be fun, what would be exciting. And it doesn't have to be like a major change, it could be picking up a new hobby, spending less time with that friend group, maybe creating a new friend group as well that can coexist. You don't have to delete your old friends, just maybe you spend a little less time with them. But the first step is that awareness. What is fitting you? What isn't fitting you anymore? It's like clothes. We can have clothes in our wardrobe that we loved when we bought them, and maybe they were really on trend, and we really enjoyed wearing them. And then suddenly they're kind of at the back of the wardrobe, and we glance at them and we go, nah, don't feel that anymore. We do it with our clothes, but we don't often do it with other aspects of our lives. So if you've lost your spark, if you're feeling a little bit, "Mm," there's nothing particularly wrong. It might just be that you've changed and your life hasn't caught up with it yet. So spend some time reflecting, ask what would be fun, and make little shifts. They don't have to be big, just make lots of little shifts, or commit to one new thing a month or something that just gives you a little bit of energy. Maybe try something new. Don't have to commit to it forever. Just play with it, experience some new things. Ask for some new friends to come in. They will turn up. It may take a while, but keep asking and things will begin to shift. The universe will start sending opportunities and ideas and people to you that you never thought was possible. Have a great week. I hope you get your spark back, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.